Do you have a plan to buy a web hosting or launching a new website for your new online business? If yes, then you are in the right place. Here, we are going to compare the two best web hosting services in the market. We are comparing Bluehost with Siteground, but it is always very difficult to find the best, if both the companies are good. Yes, I used almost all the hosting service including Siteground and Bluehost. In my opinion, these two are best, so here I am going to tell you the best out of best. So, what are the things we are going to compare to find the best web hosting? 1. Price. 2. Storage. 3. Bandwidth. 4. Backups. 5. Beginner-friendly. 6. Email accounts. 7. WordPress install. 8. Free SSL. 9. Domains and subdomains. 10. Speed. 11. Migration. 12. Customer support. Okay, now we will compare all the topics one by one to find the best web hosting service. First, we will do the price comparison for both web hosting providers. For me, price is the first thing everyone will look for. Because nowadays everyone has started to create a blogs or e-commerce stores to make some money online. But the problem is, every one of us will not born as a rich person. So we need a service which is cheap and best one to kickstart of your business. But we must know about all the topics which I have mentioned earlier to choose the correct company. Bluehost is far better than Siteground when it comes to price. Nowadays we can able to see Bluehost ads everywhere. They are giving the ultimate discounts to all the customers who are going to launch the first website. On the other hand, Siteground too having some best offers, but in the case of price comparison, Bluehost will better than Siteground. So when it comes to price, Bluehost will be a sure winner. Now we will going to compare how much storage that both companies will provide. Before that, we must know what is a web hosting. A web hosting is the service who provides some space on their own servers to store our data and files etc. because we need to save all our articles, media and our website online. For that we need some space on the online servers. As a beginner we cannot able to build our own dedicated servers because it is too costly. That's where the web hosting service companies came. These companies will have a massive amount of space in their servers, and what they will do is they will give some space for our website to store all the files. How much space we need to kickstart our first website? To be honest, 10 gigabytes more than enough to start a website. You might need more space when your business is growing up, like after 1 to 2 years. So space is another important aspect when it comes to choose web hosting. When it comes to storage, Bluehost will give you 50 gigabytes space in their startup plan, but Siteground will give you 10 gigabytes only. 10 gigabytes is enough to start your first website, but still Bluehost is the winner as they are giving more storage than Siteground. Okay, now we can discuss about the bandwidth. Bandwidth is also one of the main factors when it comes to web hosting. What is meant by the bandwidth in web hosting? It describes the level of traffic and the amount of data that can be transferred between your site, users and the internet. If you are a beginner, you need 10 to 15 gigabytes bandwidth to start. Luckily in both Siteground and Bluehost they are providing unlimited bandwidth for all the plans. So when it comes to bandwidth, we have a tie. Now we can compare one of the important topic which is called site backup. A web hosting must have a backup to ensure the security of the website. It is very important for us to make sure the website is not hijacked by the hackers. We have a free backup plugins for our website which we can integrate after creating the website. But if the website was hacked or having any security issues, those free plugins might not work at some time. So, the solution is we need an additional backup option which must be provided by the web hosting companies to ensure that our work will not lose and our website is safe. When it comes to site backup, Siteground will give you the free backups every day. Even if you are in a starter plan or advanced plan, Siteground will give you free backups. The sad thing is there is no free option for backups in basic plan in Bluehost. You will get free backup in Choice Plus plan only. But as a beginner we cannot afford for a Choice Plus plan. We must need to pay some extra amount to the Bluehost to get free backups for basic plan. So, Siteground is the winner in this case. The next thing we will going to compare that whether the tools are user-friendly or not. The hosting setup must be the beginner-friendly and it must be done with the single click. Which means everyone should able to use the cPanel without any help or issues. If the hosting provider built that kind of cPanel, then we can say it is beginner-friendly. In Siteground the cPanel is very beginner-friendly, you need not browse to Google or YouTube to get the help for setting things up. But the things are little complicated in Bluehost to set the things up. If you are a complete beginner to start this, I recommend to browse on YouTube then do all the settings. So, Siteground is having a beginner-friendly cPanel to navigate when we compare to Bluehost. Now we will compare the free email accounts. If you are the beginner, it is not so necessary to have the email account. But when your business starts growing you must have official email account to gain the trust from your clients. It is also important to create a support mail ID for your customers and it is very effective way to do customer service to your customers. Luckily both Siteground and Bluehost will have a free email account, so we will get a tie for this comparison. We should also compare about the WordPress installation. We must need a WordPress to be installed in our website to build our website easily. Millions of people creating their website using WordPress and most of the big corporate companies are using the WordPress to build their website. Both Siteground and Bluehost will give you free one-click WordPress installation. So we will have another tie. Now we can compare the SSL certificate for Siteground and Bluehost. SSL is the standard security technology for establishing the encrypted link between the web server and your browser. Which means all the data and files in your website is encrypted and it cannot be edited or modified by others. In simple definition, if your website is having a SSL certificate, all the data in your website is secured and it is very difficult to steal it. Hackers will not try to attack the website if it is having SSL certificate, so it is very important to have SSL in your website. As per Google algorithm, if your website does not have SSL, Google will not consider your website to rank on Google. Both Siteground and Bluehost having a tie-up with Let's Encrypt SSL provider. So, if you create your website with any one of these web hosting providers, you will get free SSL. We have another tie in this comparison. Now we will compare the domains and subdomains. What is meant by subdomain? I will give you an example. I have a website called directions.com. Now I want to create a subdomain for directions.com. So, I can create east.directions.com or west.directions.com. In this case, east and west are the subdomains of directions.com. So we can create multiple websites under one domain name and it is called subdomain. When we compare, Siteground does not provide you the option to create a subdomain in their basic plan. Siteground allow you to create a subdomain only on their advanced plan. But you can create up to 25 subdomains in Bluehost basic plan, which makes Bluehost as a clear winner. Now we will compare the most important topic, server speed. The speed of your website will also plays a vital role in Google ranking. If your website loads very slowly, users will close the window and they will switch to another website. It will consistently decrease average time by a user in your website. If this happens, Google algorithm will think you might have a useless content in your website, so what Google will do is it will decrease your rank in search engine. It has been officially informed by the Google that they will rank the fast-ranking websites at top of the search results. So getting a faster websites plays a main role in SEO. We need to create a website with the company who is having a fast servers. If the server is slow, whatever you do to increase the speed of your website, it will not work. So which company is having a fast server? The answer is Siteground. They are having their servers in 4 locations in the world, which is USA, London, Netherlands and Singapore, whereas Bluehost having their server at USA only. If you are from the USA or nearby to USA, you can choose Bluehost, that might work for you. But when we compare, Siteground will surely be a winner in this case. We are now going to compare the migration service. What is meant by migration? I created a website with some other hosting providers. After 1 year, I would like to change the web hosting service for the same website. I want all the files, posts and pages which I was already created. Just I need to change the web hosting provider. Can I able to do that for free? For both Siteground and Bluehost's basic plan, there will not be a free option to migrate on the basic plan. With basic plan, you need to provide $30 to Siteground for migration and $149 to Bluehost for migration. With Siteground, if you choose the advanced plan, they will give you 1 free migration. But in Bluehost you will never get the free migration. So from the above information, we can say Siteground is a winner. Finally, we will going to compare the customer support. Trust me guys, customer service is the most important thing in when it comes to buy a web hosting. You can choose the web hosting based on the price, server speed, etc. But one thing you must look is customer service. I have faced lots of issues and everyone will face some kind of an issue and we cannot able to fix it, and the strange thing is they will be solution available in Google or YouTube but it never work, and sometimes you might get very new issue. If you want to rectify it, you need an expert to fix it. I have creating blogs, WooCommerce stores to my customers for the last 3 years, but still I will face some issues and I will rectify most the issues, but even now for some of the issues, I need the help of the customer service. In my experience, if you are a complete beginner, I would recommend you to choose Siteground because it is far better than the Bluehost. The chat help will connect within 2 minutes to the expert and you will get the answers for the tickets within a minute, and this is amazing. The response time of Bluehost is very slow when compared to Siteground, and they will take so much of time to give the update for a ticket. They resolved most of the problems, almost 85% of my problems, even though they took more time. But Siteground solved 100% of my problems and they took lesser amount of time. So we have compared everything. Now I am going to tell you who is the winner. You can choose Bluehost. 1. When you have limited amount of money. 2. While you are going to create lots of subdomains. 3. You are going to create a massive amount of content and you need a more storage, as 10 gigabytes is not enough for you. 4. If you are in USA, as Bluehost servers are faster than Siteground in USA. You can choose Siteground. 1. If you are a complete beginner, as cPanel is beginner friendly and easy to use. 2. If you need a direct backups from the web hosting provider itself. 3. When you are going to migrate a site from another service provider. 4. If you need a faster website, as Siteground servers are super fast. Apart from USA. 5. They have a great customer support to work with. Even though Bluehost gives you a lots of storage and for lesser amount, I recommend you to go for Siteground, as they are the beginner friendly and they have all the necessary features to start up the website. That's all for today. I am going to put videos twice in every 2 weeks and I will teach you about how to make money online as well as digital marketing, so make sure you subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.